Hello, I'm on my way to another train station. So the plan for today or this week is to do a route called the GNR Light, which GNR stands for Grand Nith Ramble. And this is the light version. So this gets a little bit more technical than the last route I did, but it's light on distance and not quite as technical. And Grand Nith are the names of two rivers in southern or southwestern Ontario. So let's get going. There's the St. Jacobs Farmers Market. It's Thursdays and Saturdays are the days that it's open. You have a lot of outside vendors and local farmers who are bringing their stuff to the farm or to the market. So check it out if you ever come here. And right beside it, there's a number of hotels. You know, the main chain hotels. So if it takes a while to get here, you can stay overnight at a hotel and then continue on the next day to the garden. Alright, so it's taking me about 45 minutes to get from the Kitchener GO station to the start of the route, which is in St. Jacobs. I could have got on the route closer to the GO station, but I decided I would actually do the route right from the start. So that's why I'm heading to St. Jacobs. And here's the official start. Cafe, which is the unofficial coffee shop, or maybe it's the official coffee shop of the BT 700. Well, here we go. Sorry, because I'm trying to hold my camera and ride at the same time. Nice tree canopy. Just on the edge of Waterloo. Oh, a little bit of hike-a-bike. Alright, so just getting through Kitchener, or south end of Waterloo, Kitchener. Had a pleasure of riding with gentleman named Alex from St. Jacobs down here. Good time getting to know him. He's new Canadian. Had a real pleasure talking to him. And I'll pass the time. So it took me about an hour and a half to get from St. Jacobs down here to south end of Waterloo. Just because you're kind of following the river down, and the river's not straight, it zigzags back and forth. But it's a beautiful day. It's 16th of September. It's warm. I think it's 27 degrees, which is quite warm for this time of year. But really, really good opportunity to get out here and ride and do this, the GNR Light. Anyway, gotta keep riding. So Alex was riding with at the beginning. So I met him at the Eco Cafe at the beginning of the where the BT 700, the GNR starts. And anyways, he was asking me a little bit about my bike, and I told him what was going on, where I was heading, and he hadn't been on those trails before. He lives in Waterloo, but he hadn't been on those trails before. So he asked me if he could join me, and I thought, sure, because why not? It's a good opportunity to catch up and to meet somebody new. And I think I've said it before in other videos, is that I think bikepacking is best done as a shared experience. Go with somebody else. I think it really adds to the experience when you can share, your knowledge and the environment. And I was able to share that with him. And he was very appreciative of it, and I was really appreciative getting to know him and getting to know about his experience arriving here in Canada. A lot of fun. It was a nice hour-and-a-half ride with him until I got to the south end of Kitchener, and it was time for me to keep rolling. Anyways, I should do that. Keep rolling. Starting to see some of the leaves change. Another 2 or 3 weeks, it'll just be lit up here, red, yellow, and orange. I went off course a little bit, so I'm just trying to get back over to the river where the single track is so I can get back on course. Here we are. Sweet, sweet single track. Alright, just had my first forced detour. So when you get into Kitchener, the course used to go through the back of Chicopee Ski Resort, and you would go across the back side of the mountain and then come right to the front. But when I got to where the entrance was, it's closed and there's no trespassing signs up, and since it's a private business, kind of have to respect that. But otherwise, we would have been coming up and over that hill there. Anyways, I don't mind. Last time I did it, I did an endo, so I don't mind missing out on that. So on a section of trail, I believe it's called the Walter Bean Trail between Kitchener and Cambridge, and so far it's pretty good. But I remember it in the past, and I haven't finished it yet, is this long rock garden that was about, I don't know, half a kilometer of just rubble that the road or the trail was made out of. And I sacrificed a pair of sunglasses out there one time. They bounced out of my pocket because it was so rough. Anyways, it's looking pretty good right now, so I better just ride along and enjoy it. Well, it's still a rock garden. You can see behind me, it's just these little baby head rocks all the way along here, just rattle things loose. If my bike wasn't loaded and if I didn't have cameras and stuff like that on it, I might try to actually attack it and go a little faster through it, but there's a high probability of a pinch flat if I try to pick up the pace. So I'll just noodle my way through, and we'll get to the end when I get to the end. It's always nice to see on a bike trail that there's a well-stocked set of tools on this trail. So Cambridge has done a good job of making sure that the tools are there for you. So get out there and ride. There's some great back roads for riding a gravel bike or bikepacking. Nice tree canopy, a little bit of shade in the hot day that it is today. Almost missed my turn. I know the GNR, the Grand Nith Ramble, both the light and the full start in St. Jacobs, but that's probably the hardest place to start the ride because you're right into the toughest probably section of trail. Not that it's technically tough, it's just, it's long. It's, you have to make sure your maps are good, because navigation can be a challenge, because when you're in the tree cover, sometimes the Garmin's can't see the satellite. So you need to make sure you have a good GPX file so that you can follow it. And you might have to go a little bit slower in order to navigate some of the turns and not miss turns like I did. One mistake I did, and I'll make sure I correct this, is I had an older GPX file, and some of the roads have shifted because of construction and new home development. So their Ride with GPS, if you're a Ride with GPS user, has a feature called Auto Trace. I'd recommend running that over your old GPX file so that it kind of relearn the route and be more accurate. I'm going to do that when I get to the campsite tonight. I'm going to actually, or maybe even when I get to Cambridge, I'm going to see if I can get some internet access and see if I can fix the file that I'm riding, because I've missed too many turns, and it's just because of the GPS file is about, it thinks the road is like 10 meters to the left or 10 meters to the right. And sometimes when there's different road crossings, the different trailheads, you pick the wrong one. At least I do. It seems to be the course for the day is picking the wrong one. Anyways, I better get rolling. So rolling into Cambridge, we are on the Grand Trunk Trail, which would lead me to believe that the old Grand Trunk Railway used to run through here. I'm south of Cambridge now. The trail's a little more active, a few more people out here running, but riding. But this is an old railway bed, and it's primarily downhill to Paris, and Paris is kind of the south end of the loop, the furthest south I go on this loop. And so some good things to know about Cambridge. It's a good place to refuel, especially if you get there midday or morning, midday. Got some nice coffee shops. You can also get some food. It's just things like something quick. You can get a Subway on Main Street. If you get further down the trail and you get to Paris, it has some really nice restaurants. Nice place to stop and rest. Hello. Nice place to stop and rest. Get some food. Top off the tank before continuing on. Oh, this evening light is just amazing. It's about an hour before sunset. It's just gorgeous. So just looking out over the Grand River. Have our Canada geese there trumpeting their songs. Just spectacular weather for September. Really can't beat it. This is just amazing. So it's about an hour before sunset. And I'm just trying to figure out, there's a campsite about 5 more kilometers up the road, but it's not that far. I want to get past Paris tonight. I'll have to look at the map, because I think once I get past Paris, I'm going to be into sparse camping options. There's Pinehurst campsite, but that's a little bit off route. I don't really want to do that again. I've been there before. It's a great campsite, and it's an option, but I have a feeling I'm either going to have to pick this one about 5 kilometers down the trail, or consider stealth camping tonight, wild camping. But first I'll go see if there's even accommodations at the site down the trail, and then I'll make my decision then. Just coming up on Paris. So apparently my cellular service wasn't very good, because I had already passed that campsite I was supposed to be looking for up the road. So I guess I'm going to be trying to scope out a campsite for the night. Well, sun's setting. I'm just heading north, I guess it'd be west out of Paris. So I'm going to start looking for a place to camp for the night. The place I was looking at earlier, it like I said, my phone, the data was showing me ahead, and then all of a sudden it jumped and I was 10 kilometers past it. So I went on to Paris and just went quickly through Paris. Decided to skip a little bit of the Nith section just because it's dark. I don't really have lights for riding at night, just for being seen, so I'll err on the side of caution. I don't know if you can see me in the video, but this little helmet light that I've seen it on my helmet and all the videos, you know, Tour Divide and rides around Ontario. I've always just had it as a backup light. Never really planned on using it as a headlight, but man, oh man, I've been riding here for 45 minutes in the dark and it's lighting up the road in front of me. So anyways, it's a gorgeous night. It's quite warm, no wind I should say, and yeah, just kind of looking for a sweet spot out here to wild camp for the night. So hopefully I'll find something soon.